over how to do the 6 different inventory methods, right? You've taken a look at the chapter by now. You've taken a look at the quiz. You try to do the quiz question. It worked out good. How many of you worked the quiz question? Good. No problem. Big deal. Do you want to work that, or do you want to work it, and make up one? Make up a different one? Okay. All right. Already figured that one out. So it'd be basically the same idea. And, it could look like a little different form. Like, who cares, right? Okay. So if I were to tell you at the beginning, right? So here's the beginning inventory, and it could be any month in a year, right? So at January 1st, year one, okay? Let's say I have 10 units that cost me $5 each, okay? And then that's January 1st. January 5th, what did I do? Sale first on that one? I'll do a purchase first on this one. Let's say I buy 15 units and they cost me $5.20. Okay? So a little bit of inflation. Okay? On January 10th, we have a very slow business now. On January 10th, I sell 17 units, and my sales price is $10 per unit. Okay? That's my sales price. These two are what I bought them for. They're costs, of course, right? Let's hope your sales price is more than your cost. Huh? Okay, and then let's do January 15th. Year one. Let's buy 20 units. Okay, this is buy, sell. Oh, I'm sorry, the first one is beginning inventory. Beginning inventory. Obviously, I guess. Okay, and then we got to sell. And let's make this another buy. Okay, so 20 units at, I don't know, $5.40 per unit. Got it? Okay. And then on January 20th, let's do 19. Now let's do 21 units. Now let's do 19 units. Take it back. I like 19 better. Get a little more complicated. Maybe 19 units. And the sales price is still $10. Make our life easy. Okay? Let's sell. That's everything that happened. Okay? So what I would like you to do is tell me for all the different methods, okay? Well, what are the different methods first? So, what'd you say? There's periodic, and under periodic you've got FIFO, do you? And then you also have LIFO, and then you also have weighted average. Oh, well, it's not that clear. To do that in a quiz, you'd be kind of happy, wouldn't you? Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, LIFO, thank you. All right? And then for perpetual, oh, I gave it away. You guys knew that, right? Yeah. For perpetual, LIFO, anybody who doesn't know it, oh well, at this point. FIFO, FIFO, and what do you call that one? Moving average, right? Keeps moving. Okay, so what I'd like you to do for me, keeps moving every 25 cents, correct? What I'd like you guys to do is give me ending inventory, so all the way down. Got the idea? So ending inventory for each of those, okay? And then I'd like you to give me cost of goods sold for each of those. And then I'd like you to give me gross profit for each of those. Everybody good? Gross profit is simply what? Sales less cost of goods sold. Yes, sir.
phone last class?
Of course not. No, we didn't do this in the last class. Yeah, we're doing it today. In the last class, all I did was I talked about perpetual and periodic, and in general, what LIFO, FIFO, and average was. True? Okay. Some people said they went, how many people got back and looked at videos from other classes? Yeah, holy crap. Good for you guys. So you guys already know how to do this, don't you? Everybody else will bring up to speed. Got it? I'll tell you what, when you go to work in business, you show up prepared for the meetings, you get to run the place. Pretty much. That's the way it works. Somebody will find out you already know how to do that? Would you please teach all these other people? And now you're suddenly, for that task, you're their boss. Pretty soon you just are their boss. It just happens. Out in the real world, you know where it's competitive and you get paid. Out in that world, you don't wait for things, right? When I was 23 years old, I had people who were in their 50s reporting to me who were managers. Okay? It was really weird. No, I'm lying. 24. Just a year later. I was 24. Yeah, whatever. I kind of got used to being the kid. I'm an old guy. And luckily, nobody reports to me but you guys. So, yeah, I guess you report to me. Anyway, sort of, for a while. All right, anyway, I'd rather not have any employees. So calculate all those for me, okay? Could you do it? That's the quiz question, okay? This was 6 points in the quiz to do something exactly like this. Can you do it? How many of you think you could do it right now? Just a couple. I'm not a lot of you guys watched me do it. Okay, so you want to do it together first, and in the review session, I'll give you one and you can do it? Yeah. Okay, let's do that way. All right, that's good. Okay, it's not surprising you can't just off the top of your head do this, but will you be able to, when I see you, what's today? When I see you Friday, will you be able to pull this off? Yeah. Sure, why not? And when's the test? Not for a week or something, right? Week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that? Can you have it by then? How about at the end of the class for the final? Sure, big deal, right? If you really get this down and you really understand it, so what? How many of you know that debit means left? Yeah, that's pretty unanimous. Yeah, so how'd you get there? Well, you did it. That's all. Sure. Everything's that way. So don't be intimidated by people who know a lot more than you. Instead, what you do, I don't mean me, I mean when you go to work, people that are actually doing something out there. Don't be intimidated by them. Befriend them. Just suck up their knowledge, right? Why not? They'll share. They'll share. How many of you have been out there working a little bit with people who really know what they're doing? Yeah, it's true, isn't it? They want to teach you everything, right? By the way, there are internships. Sometimes talented freshmen get them. At Bellarmine, all of our sophomores, almost all of our sophomore accounting majors have internships, paying, I don't know, $12, $14, $15 an hour. By the time they're seniors, they're making $20, $25 an hour. I'm not kidding, because they're worth it. Okay? Right? So you guys can be worth it in whatever field you're going into. Just make sure you are, and make sure you learn it. Okay, anyway, so keep going, keep going. All right, anyway, so let's do the easy ones first. Which ones do you think are easy, those who have done this stuff? Periodic or perpetual? Oh, periodic. Periodic's really simple. Because what do? You pretend you bought everything before you sold anything. So it's really simple, right? The key thing is to remember what? FIFO means what? First in, first out. What did I do with the first ones I had? Which would be the beginning inventory I had first, right? And then the first purchase, then the second, and of course it'd be thousands of purchases in a year, right? Okay? But what happens? The first ones get sold first. So which ones do I still have under FIFO? The last ones. Right, guys? The last ones. So looking at this, which ones would I still have? I'd go to the 19 that I purchased most recently, right? My inventory is less than 19, that's which ones they are. Everybody agree with that? If my inventory is more than 19, what am I going to have to do? Go back to the next most recent purchase, so 17. The ones, whoops, I'm lying, 20 was the most recent purchase. Nobody even corrected me. That was a sell, sorry. Okay, the 20, I go to the 20 first, right? The most recent purchase. So they'd be at $5.40. If I have more than 20, what would I pick up? 15. Everybody got the idea? That's all it is, right? I wouldn't pick up all 15. I'd pick up as many as I need, huh? And what would those have cost? $5.20. And if I have more than, I guess, 20 plus 35 plus 15, which is 35, what would I have to go to? The 10 from the beginning. Got it? So you just keep going back through purchases. Okay? That's FIFO. So this is going to be simple. LIFO. Last in, first out. I pretend I sold, which, now I don't really do this. This is really for taxes, right? Say dollars for taxes. 1 second. Which ones do I think I sold under LIFO, last in, first out? The last ones you bought. So which ones would you still have? The first ones you bought. Which ones are those? What's the first ones we bought here? Our beginning inventory. So if I have an inventory less than 10, it's going to be, or up to 10, it's going to be at $5. What if I have more? I go to the first purchase. Where was it? It was 520, wasn't it? 15 at 520. What if I have more than 25? I go to the next purchase and keep going. Okay? Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I thought it's the way I learned it, or the way that I thought it. I thought you flipped them. I thought FIFO was you started with the 10 and then went to the 15.
FIFO is first in, first out.
Wouldn't you be selling that first though? So when you're 19 that you bought, wouldn't you be taking that from the 10 and then when you do
the last ones I buy, which is 20 on the 15th. If I'm doing first in, first out, those are the ones I still have, right? Okay. And then I work back from there if I need more. It's real easy to switch this. Okay? All right? And did I say it backwards, you guys?
If it's the first in, first out, the first ones you would buy would be the first ones you sell. So
Yeah. So which ones would you have left?
the last one?
The last ones. Yeah, that's it. That's all it is. Okay. Here we go. Okay? I'm saying it so many times it's confusing you. That could be true. Okay? This kind of plays a head game with you, doesn't it? The most common mistake students make is they'll flip-flop FIFO and LIFO. And they got everything right. I mean, people that have been at work hard, right? They'll flip-flop LIFO and FIFO and say, oh, geez, you know, which ones did I keep? First in, first out talks about what I sold. So I still have the last ones. Last in, first out talks about what I sold too. So I still have the first ones. That's it. On average, I'm just going to add them all up to keep the average, and my cost of goods sold is at average, and my ending inventory is at average. So this is all going to be, yeah.
All right, let me get this straight. First in, first out. So on January 10th, you sell 17 of them. You take 10 from the first.
Now you're going perpetual. Under periodic, we pretend we buy them all before we sell any. Because we don't keep track of when we bought them or when we sold them, right? Periodic. On perpetual, yes. I have to take whatever I own. Yeah, so perpetual is going to give me a different answer than periodic. Not for FIFO, though, because I'm always selling the old ones with FIFO, right? So it gives me the same answer both ways. Okay, so when we get to perpetual, that'll make that clear, okay? But yeah, perpetual, LIFO, and moving average are typically different. They don't have to be. You could, by coincidence, with these simple little problems, do the same, but in real life, they'll always be different. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do periodic. In fact, maybe the way we'll do it is try before I get too far into this. Let's try splitting the screen, see if it actually works today. Where are my commands? Where are my splitting screen? I have a brain freeze, you guys do. There we go. Here's a dual page display. There we go. All right. Waiting. On. There. Okay. Oh, I wasn't over it, so it got lost. Can you guys sort of see that? You got it written down anyway, don't you? So we have some room to work. Okay, so down here, let's do all right. I guess I could do it like that, couldn't I? And it wouldn't be out there. Okay, so here we go. Let's do FIFO. Well, they're going to be periodic first, okay? Periodic. These are all going to be periodic. So let's do FIFO. All right, the first thing I need to know is what? How many units do I have? What do you think? So here's what I suggest you do for all the methods. Figure out where you're at. Figure out where you're at. You can use T accounts or you can use a little schedule. I could care less. You can do both. Okay? So maybe I'll use T accounts and I'll say inventory in units. It's not a bad way to go. You can do what you want. Author has a different approach, of course. Inventory in dollars. Okay? Okay, so let's see what happened here. Okay, how many did I start with in beginning inventory? How many units? 10. What did they cost? $5. 10 at $5, right? How much is that? $50. Everybody got the idea? So I know my inventory at the beginning of the year is $50. One layer of inventory, huh? $10. Okay, then what happens? First purchase. It happened to be first purchase. Could it be a sale? Sure, I would have sold some of those if I sold some. Okay, so purchase one. I'll just call it purchase one. And for perpetual, we're going to keep them in order, gang. We're going to keep them in order. For periodic, we don't care, right, what the order is. Okay, so let's keep it in order because we're going to do perpetuals here. So purchase one is 15 units, is it? So now I have 25. Would everybody agree to that? 10 plus 15 is common sense. Okay, how many dollars is that? Whoops. $78. All you did was you multiplied 15 units times 520, huh? $78. You guys good with that? Okay, it's easy, isn't it? So I have 128 of inventory. Okay, then what happens? Sale one. Now sale one, we got a problem with this, don't we? That's actually what we're going to do here. Sale one is how many units, Gabe? 17 units. So how many units do I have left now? You know, if I had 25 and I sold 17. 8, right? Okay, that's all. Okay, I sold some of the ones from the beginning, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Depends which method I'm using. How much did those cost? No, that's what I sold them for. What'd they cost? What'd they cost? I don't know. Depends which method I'm using. That's what I'm doing. All the methods are going to give me a different amount. Got it? That's what we're doing. It's figuring cost of goods sold and ending inventory. Okay? By the way, the beginning inventory would be different with all the methods too. Why do I think that's true in real life? Because the ending inventory is different with all methods. So the next year is different, right? So it'll always be different, really. For our little example here, we'll pretend it's the same. Okay, all right, good. Then what happens? Give me about 20 more? Yeah. Keep going, guys. We're going to run out of time. If we run out of time, I guess, oh well. I know how to do it. Okay, anyway, 20 units, right? That's what we want to pound on. 20 units at what? 540? How much is that, everybody? All right, $108. So we're rolling. Okay? And then what happens? 19 units. How many units you got left? Oh, you mean I can calculate how many units I have just by taking the beginning, adding my purchases, and subtracting the sales? Yes. What do you think people do in the real world? What they start with plus what they buy is what's available. They take away the ending, or I'm sorry, they take away what they sold, and that's what they have at the end. Or you can take what's available, right? Take away your ending, and guess what? That's what you don't have. That's what you sold. That's simple. Okay, this is common sense, isn't it? Just product, right? Big deal. Okay, so how much do we have at the end? It was 25, 45, less 36, 9 units? We have 9 units in ending inventory. No matter which method I use, whoops, in ending inventory. Ending inventory. All right, 9 units in ending inventory. No matter which method we use, we have 9 units. We're just going to have a different value on it. Got it? How many units did you sell, everybody? I just calculated it, didn't I? 17 plus 19 is 36. Everybody agree? Okay. Now, do we know how much those cost? No, we know we sold them for $10, but we don't know how much they cost. If I knew what the cost was of these two, could I subtract it from what's available? You know, your beginning inventory plus your 2 purchases, that's going to be available. Could I subtract the sales from it and get something named ending inventory? Yeah, cost of goods sold is what those would be, yes. And I can calculate ending inventory. Got it? So if you think about a cost of goods sold schedule, what does it look like, everybody? Beginning inventory. Actually, maybe I'll put it over to the side. Cost of goods sold would look like what, everybody? Beginning inventory plus what? Purchases. Gives me what? Available. Less what? Ending inventory. Gives me what? Cost of goods sold. That's all we're doing here. Everybody got it? And that's what's going to show on the financial statements, and we're determining what's going to be in the financial statements. Where does cost of goods sold show? It's an expense on the income statement. For merchandising companies, it's by far their biggest expense. What do you think Walmart's biggest expense is? Other than salaries to their owners. I'm kidding. Joke. Okay. What's their biggest expense? goods sold, of course, right? Not wages, cost of goods sold. They pay horrible wages. Cost of goods sold. What's the biggest expense of Microsoft? Wages, salaries. They pay extremely well. And what they're selling you, they sell online, don't they? Their cost of goods sold is not very much. It's electronic. Okay, for the most part, very little goods. But at Walmart or Kroger or something, it's the inventory becomes cost of goods sold, right? What's a big number on their balance sheet for their current assets, of course? Oh, where does the inventory go? On their balance sheet, under current assets. You guys know this, don't you? Start putting it together. This isn't different, right? Now that we're getting it, this is kind of difficult. You know what? It's really simple. It's difficult where you're at now. How are you going to feel about it a year from now? This is a joke. I'm that good. How about 10 years from now? You won't remember learning it. You won't care. Right? Move way on. Okay? Yeah. Why not? Okay. Why redo everything? You know what? I don't like doing anything I've done before. It's okay teaching because I'm covering the same stuff again, but I get to do it with all different people. What if it was the same? What if we had to sit together for the rest of our lives? And I'll talk about this. We'll talk about it together forever. Oh, God. No. I just described a lot of people's jobs. How long can you make hamburgers at McDonald's? Do it exactly the same way. Forever. Till you croak, right? Although you don't have any stress. Well, no, that's wrong. You don't have any stress about making hamburgers, but you have a lot of stress about dealing with those god-awful customers and employees. Whoa. What's that? Oh, and being broke. I guess that's kind of stressful, not having enough to eat. Oh, no, you can eat at McDonald's, I forgot. They do feed you, don't they? I don't know. Nobody. Has anybody ever worked fast food in here? You are such privileged. Yes, a little bit. Has anybody ever worked?
I worked.
Gotten dirty working?
I worked at Subway.
All right, good. You worked at Subway? Yeah, that's fast food.
Yeah, I worked.
It's a little healthier fast food. Slightly, right? I mean, they actually have vegetables and stuff there. Yeah, I guess so. No, it's much healthier fast food. You stay away from meatball sandwiches and stuff like that. Okay. Those are good, though. How come all the good stuff's unhealthy? Oh, well. Anyway, we can take this, you guys. Let's do it for units. Here's another way you could go. This is the same thing, just looking at it differently. So you don't have to do both of these. But what could we do? We could do units and dollars of inventory. Got it? What's my beginning inventory, everybody? We calculated it, right? It was 10 units at $5, wasn't it? So it's $50. Everybody good? Oh. And then what's my purchases? We have two of them. 15 plus 20 is how much? 35. So how many are available? 45. Everybody agree with that? Okay, and then how much did those cost me? 78 plus 108. Does everybody agree? How much is that? 186? Is that what that is? Come on, you guys. Okay. What's 50 plus 186? That's what's available, right? 236. Okay. Your task is like Mission Impossible. Everybody see that movie? It used to be a TV show 100 years ago. Okay. When I was a kid. Ending inventory, right? It's your task if you choose to accept it, right? Okay. Anyway, what's your ending inventory in units? 9. What's cost of goods sold? Or number of units sold, I'm sorry. 36, right? 17 plus 19 is 36. We already knew that. What are the dollar amounts? I don't know. That's what I'm doing. That's your mission. Find out what those are. If I knew cost of goods sold, I could get inventory. If I knew inventory, I could get cost of goods sold. With periodic, I can get inventory really easy, so guess what I'm going to do? Get inventory and calculate cost of goods sold. Got it? That's how I'm going to do this. Everybody okay with that? Easy? All right, so let's do it. How would I do FIFO? How many units do I have left? 9 units. Which one? Okay, the last ones I bought, I made this too simple, didn't I? I should have at least reduced the inventory. Okay? Or increase the inventory, better. Well, I had 10 at the beginning, right? Are those the ones I'm going to use? No, it's first in, first out. I sold those. Which ones am I going to use? The last ones I bought 20 for $5.40, so at those 9 units are going to be at what? $5.40, and that's all there is to it. Okay? What's 9 times 540? 48, 46? What? 48, 60. 48, 60. You're going to say, how do we get pennies? Okay, all right. 48, 60? right? Okay, if we have 4860 left, by the way, that's my ending inventory. If I have 236 available, everybody agree we did? And I have 4860 left at the end, how much don't I have? The difference must be what I don't have, which is cost of goods sold. That's it, right? Might be also stolen stuff, lost stuff, but you call it all cost of goods sold. What's that? 187.40. And you already have two of the answers, don't you? Ending inventory is how much? 4860. See how small I can write? Not really that small. And what? 187.60. 187.40. It's true, isn't it? That's all there is to it. Okay, what would be my cost of goods sold? All you got to do is know what the sales are. Take your sales less your cost of goods sold, of course, right? Would give me what? Gross margin, gross profit. That's it, isn't it? Everybody good? Gross profit, I guess they call it. There it is. Gross margin, gross profit. Okay, good. What's my sales? How many units did you sell? 36. It's the same as for the cost of goods sold, of course. Okay, and then what do we sell them for? $10. So how much is that? 360. Hope I asked for this, huh? It's a gift, isn't it? What would be your gross profit then? What would you do, gang?
Subtract your
Got it.
which is 172.
172. Ta-da! All you're doing is taking your 360 sales less the cost of goods sold. Big deal. So it's 172.60 for that one. Is this easy or what, guys? Very, very easy. Okay, all right. What if I had, let's say instead I had, 15. No, let's do more than that. Let's say I had 25 units in ending inventory. What would I use? If I had 25 units in ending inventory, what would I do for my ending inventory?
You have to split up the FIFO, so you have to do 20.
I do 20 and 540, and then I need 5 more. Which ones would they be, guys? Go back to the purchase before that, and what's that? 5 of these at 520, and that's it. Multiply 5 times 520, and then add that to whatever 20 times 540 was, right? Got it? So I screwed up my problem a little bit by not having the inventory shrink. Or grow, I'm sorry. Okay, good. All right, let's do LIFO then. This is going to be unbelievably easy. Same thing. Whoops. LIFO. What would LIFO do? How many units do we have left? I don't know why I put units twice. 9 units. At. Okay, which ones? Last in, first out. I pretend I bought all of them and then I sold them, right? In reverse order. Ridiculous. Okay, so which ones would I have? 9 from the beginning, right? At what? $5. That's it. 9 of those I had at the beginning. $5 is 45. Okay, again, what would I do if, let's say I had instead, let's say I had, I don't know, 17 at the end. Which ones would I pick up? My ending inventory was 17. What would I pick up? The first 10 at $5, and then 7 at what? The 520. Got it? And imagine in real life there are, hundreds or thousands of purchases. Got the idea? Depending on what it is. Okay, at least hundreds probably. Well, I don't know. Might just be 12 if you buy once a month. Could be. That's how the business works. Okay, good. So we got it, huh? What are we going to do with that? Lost my sheet. Here we go. Okay, screwed that up. Good. All right. So now what do we want to do? Let's take that information. What do we know, guys? We now know ending inventory, which is going to give us cost of goods sold and going to give us gross profit. Does everybody agree with that? What's ending inventory? 9 units at what? 5 each. It's $45. Got it. Okay. What's my cost of goods sold? 236 less 45 is what? take that away from the 360 sales, what do you have? How much?
169.
Are those different numbers than we had on the other one? Sure, because inventory costs are changing. Okay? So all I do is I would plug in my $45 for inventory, my $191 for cost of goods sold, big deal, and my $169 is it for gross profit. Everybody good? Let's do weighted average. Okay, what's a weighted average going to look like? How many units do I have? 9 in ending inventory, right? And all I got to do is get the average, multiply it times it, and I'm going to know what the ending inventory is, aren't I? And the rest is going to be cost of goods sold. Something else you could do here is you could do the units in cost of goods sold too. How many units are there in cost of goods sold? How many we sell? 36, right? We started with 10, we bought 35, we had 45 available, right? We still have 9 at the end, we must have sold 36, or we sold 36, we must have 9 left, whatever. That's going to be 36 units, isn't it? Everybody got it? So let's get the weighted average. How are you going to do that? Well, it's going to be pretty simple now. What you do is you take the beginning inventory, be sure and include the beginning, right? Because you had those units. Beginning inventory times the cost for the beginning. We already did that, didn't we? How much is that? 50. And then we do purchase 1, purchase 2, purchase 3, however many you have. We did that already, didn't we? Do you guys know what the beginning inventory was? Sure, it was 50. Do you know how much you bought? 186, sure. Do you know what the total available is? 236. Do you know how many were available? 45. Can you tell me what the average was? It's going to be weighted average, right? Because we have different quantities of beginning in each purchase, right, guys? Different quantities. It's a weighted average. Okay, so what are we going to do? Take 236 and divide it by 45, don't you think? That's all there is to it. And we already have the information, don't we? 236 divided by 45 units. That's available, right? What does that give me per unit? 524? Is it exact? Nah, there'll be rounding in here, but the computer wouldn't do rounding and just keep it, right? And come up with the nearest penny. Don't care. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll take 524 times both of those and see where we're at. What's 524 times 9 units? 4716? Okay, now what that, notice that somewhere in between LIFO and FIFO? Yeah, that makes sense. It usually would be, right? Unless costs are going way up and way down or something. That could be happening. Okay, so let's do this one. Let's plug it in here. Too easy, isn't it? And we're going to do the same thing when we do perpetual, you guys. So what do we have? What's my ending inventory? 4716? Right? So we just calculated. Okay. What's my cost of goods sold? 236 less 4716. How much is that?
358.
What we're doing here, you guys, is we're actually developing your analytical skills as we go. Getting better. Right? Sharper. Thinking. Right? Fantastic. No matter what field you go into. All right. So what do you think here? What if we took 36 times 524 over here? Give that a shot. What's 36 times 524? 188.64. It's supposed to be 188.84. We rounded, didn't we? You see what's going on? That's it. You could calculate them either way then, couldn't you? Those two have to add up to the total available, of course. Okay? So if you left it in your calculator and calculated it, you would have had it a little different. Pennies would have been different. Got the idea? It's easy, isn't it, guys? Okay, so what would I say? Oh, what's my gross profit? 360 now less what? 188.84. How much is that? Let's go, guys. 171.16. Fantastic. Okay. You're going to get these points, aren't you? It's going to take a little bit of practice. It looks hard, and then after you crank through a few of them, it's kind of like, ah. And are you memorizing this, or do you know what you're doing? Let's not memorize, right, guys? You're tired of it. Figure it out. I don't have anything memorized. That's not bad. Never did that before. Okay, so now what do we want to do? Let's do perpetual. Now, perpetual is really annoying. Okay? Not really. It's annoying. And I do want to step up. I would do a key account. Okay? That's what I do. Oh, by the way, on FIFO, it's going to be the same, right? Because you're always selling in the review. I'll show you if you want. But we're always selling the old stuff. So we sell the beginning first, and then the first purchase, then the second. So what do we have? What do you want to write in here for FIFO? What's up in the credit? Don't think too much. It's 4860. It's exactly the same as it was up above under periodic. Everybody got it? It's 18740. Is that right? This is fast. And then gross profit, 17260. It doesn't make any difference. That's nice to know, isn't it? LIFO and moving average are going to be different. Okay, so here we got perpetual, LIFO. Okay? We could do FIFO this way too, but we get the same answer, so why bother? Okay? All right, guys. Now I'm going to take my beginning inventory. How many units is it? Times the cost, $5 is how much? Now it's only the same because I made the problem that way, right? Be different for the different methods, really. Anyway, that's a LIFO layer. The author talked about LIFO layers. That's a LIFO layer. We could deplete that layer. If we did a sale right now, we would, wouldn't we? We'd sell some of them. But instead, the first thing that happens is what? And we're keeping them in order now. What's the first thing that happened? We bought 15 units, so purchase one is 15 units at how much? 520. And we already calculated how much that was. I wish we could have all the sheets up here at once. But how much is that? $78. Remember that? Your sheet there. Okay? So I've got two LIFO layers. 10 units at $5 and 15 units at 520. Which ones will I sell first? Last in, first out. The most recent purchase. Yeah. The $5.20 ones. They're going first, aren't they? Okay, so then I do a sale. Happy. By the way, could I have multiple purchases in a row? Of course. Could I have multiple sales in a row? You always will. You have far more sales than you do purchases. You think Kroger has more individual sales than they do individual purchases? They don't buy they don't order everything, right? One customer at a time. I mean, of course not. They do thousands at a time. Okay, anyway, so here we go. Sale one. How many units is it? 17 units. Oh, wait a minute. I got a problem. Which ones am I selling, gang? The 15 I just bought, right? 15 units at 520. I know how much that is. That's $78, isn't it? Okay? And then what else? I need two more. And they're going to be at $5? Sure, because I'm going back and getting those early ones. 2 units times $5. So all of a sudden, life got more difficult. That's okay. What does that add up to, guys? That's $10 plus $78. It's $88. Now, this is going to be a journal entry. Tell me what it is. Debit what? Tell you what. Tell me what the credit. This is LIFO inventory we are working on here. Credit what? Inventory. What do you want to debit? Oh, what? Cash? Somebody gave me $88 of cash. What, I returned it to the vendor? I did not. I sold it to my customer. I sold those for $150. 10 times 15, it's not cash. You weren't the only one. That's all right. What is it? This is the cost of what I sold. Debit cost of goods sold. This is debit cost of goods sold, right? Sure it is. That's cost of goods sold. So we just calculated. And credit inventory. And now how much do I have in inventory, you guys? Let's take a look at this. What do I have left in inventory? I have how many units from the beginning units? I sold all 15 of the purchase. I only have 8 of those left. I have 8 units from the beginning inventory at $5. That's my remaining LIFO layer. How much did you say that was? $40. Okay, what is 50 plus 78? It's 128. Subtract 88 from that. What do you have? 40, of course. Big deal. Debit cost of goods sold credit inventory, isn't it? Okay, let's do purchase 2. That's the next thing that happened, right? If it was a sale, we'd do that next. Okay, how many units was purchase 2? What did we spend for them? How much is that in total? We already multiplied it out earlier, didn't we? 108. Now we have 2 LIFO layers. Which ones are we going to sell first? The last 20 we bought. Everybody got it? Okay. So what are we going to do for the next one? How many units is it for sale 2? 19 units? Okay, which ones are they? Okay, 19 of those 20 here, right? 19 units times what? 540. How much is that? 102.60? Deb at what? Cost of goods sold. Brett at what? Merchandise inventory. What's left in merchandise inventory now? Let's see. 40 plus 108 less 102.60. What do you get? How much is that? It's 45.40 at this point. And we're done, aren't we? We only had 2 purchases and 2 sales. So what's my ending inventory? I think it's 45.40. You guys calculated it, right? Okay, what does that consist of? 8 units at $5 is 40 bucks, right? And we had 1 more unit, didn't we? And what did we pay for it? 540. How much is that? 540. I don't know about you, but I think $40 plus 540 is 45.40. Okay? I know my ending inventory at LIFO. Is that different than the ending inventory at LIFO if I'm doing periodic? Yeah, it typically will be. Imagine that's millions. Okay? Hundreds of thousands. Okay, got the idea? I'm just making up the small so we can test. All right, good. What's my total cost of goods sold here, you guys? This is too easy to believe. 88 plus 102.60, how much is that? How much is that? 110.60? 190.60. 90.60. Okay, does that work? 190.60, is that going to work for us? What do you think? Let's do it over here. All right. What is our ending inventory we just calculated? 45.40. Okay. What was our cost of goods sold? The difference between those 190.60. Oh, what will my gross profit be? 360 less 190.60. How much is that? 169. Too easy. Remember the 190.60 and 169.40. Down, I guess. 169.40 is the gross profit. Okay. And then, what did we say the cost of goods sold was? 190.60. All right, great. And then all you got is moving average, huh? All right, keep going. This isn't bad, is it? Not a very big deal. It's going to look just like perpetual, except we're going to have to calculate an average every time. Or just like perpetual LIFO, but we're going to have to calculate an average every time. So let's do that. Got to know. Here we go. This is perpetual. Moving average inventory. It's going to work exactly the same way. We're going to keep them in order, but we're going to calculate an average every time we buy something because the average changes. And then when you sell them, they're always at average. Huh? Cost of goods sold is always average. That's it, guys. So what's the beginning inventory? 50 units, $10, $5, I'm sorry. How much was that? 50 bucks? 10 units. I'm going to say that's not 50 bucks. 10 units at $5, $50. Okay, what's my average? 5. What if I sold some now? They cost 5. Okay, but first I had a purchase, didn't I? Purchase 1. How many units was it? 15 over there. We paid $5.20, did we? We already multiplied that out. How much was it? 78 even. Guess what? If I want to do a moving average, which I do now, right? You don't have to do a moving average so you do all the purchases. Make sense? But if you're going to do a sale, you need a moving average. How many units do I have? 25 units. I am going to calculate what they cost me on average. How do I do that? What did they cost me in total? 128. And you get an average, of course. 25 into 128. You got it, right? I bet it's somewhere between $5 and $5.20, a little closer to $5.20 because there's 15 of those. Right? 5 what?
12.
512. I would leave that in my calculator in real life, right? If you leave it in your calculator now, it would be a good idea. Use it to get closer on the numbers. Okay, so then what happens? Sale 1, how many units is it? 15? 17. Okay, 17 units from sale 1. Okay, 17 units. What did they cost on average? I just calculated it. 512. This is too easy. So what's my debit to cost of goods sold credit inventory for that one? 17 times 512. 8704. Debit cost of goods sold, right? Credit inventory, that's it. Big deal. Okay? Now how much do you have left? How many units are left? 25 less 17. 8 units. What did they cost me? It's still 512, right? You had them at 512 and then took some out at 512. The ones left are still 512. What's 8 times 512, of course? It's 128 less 8704, isn't it? How much is that? 4096. That worked, didn't it? Right? Especially if you left in your calculator. What's the next thing that happened? Purchase 2, right? Nice of me to put them in some sort of easy order. It could be in any order, of course. Right? How many was it? 20 units. How much do they cost? 540. I bet this is going to be a lot closer to 540 than 512, right? How come? 20 of those at 540, there's only 8 at 512. So it's kind of a moving weighted average, isn't it? You want to think about it. Don't call it that way. Crazy. That's what it is. What's 20 times 540? We already calculated that earlier, didn't we? How much was that? 108. All right. How much inventory do we have? How many units? 28 units. We're going to calculate what the average is. What's the total they cost? It's like 148.96. How much you guys did? What's 148.96 divided by 28? 532. Yeah, it did get an awful lot closer, didn't it? 540. Of course it did. Okay, if I sold some now, what would it be at? 532. Leave it in your calculator, right? How many units? In the last sale. 19 units. What'd they cost? 532. How much is that? 101.08. Debit what? Cost of goods sold. Credit what? Merchandise inventory. Okay. Those of you who said cash, do you see why it's not cash? Yeah. That's what we sold, right? Good. Fantastic. All right, here we go, guys. By the way, I would never be mean to anybody if I didn't have a lot of respect for them. If you were working for me, and you got a really good education, I just put the screws to you. Not be mean, just expect a lot. Anything you get done, I don't have to do. Like it? And then I can pay you more. Fantastic. Win-win-win. You want a boss that really pushes you, right? That's what you want. If they have you sit there and do nothing, the public plan gets rid of you. Either that or the company should get rid of them. True. Pretty much true. I think. How many units are left? 28 less 19. 9. What's the average, of course? 532. And what's that going to be? What's 532 times 9? I bet it's 148.96 less 108.08. How much is that? 47.88. Came out real close, didn't it? Okay, what is that? 9 units is my what? Ending inventory. Oh, and what did it cost? 47.88. What's my ending inventory then under moving average here? 47.88. Ah, this is too easy. What's my cost of goods sold, you guys? How about 8704 plus 101.08? How much is that? 188.12. Fantastic. So I got cost of goods sold is 188.12. And guess what? That's going to give me what? What if we take my sales? What were my sales? 360 less 188.12. What do you get? 171.88. Every one of these is slightly different, huh? And again, imagine they're millions. It makes a difference in the amount of net income, right? Nobody has this income. Okay? All right? Is this easy? Could you have done it right? I'll find it yet. No.
those numbers in there?
You bet. Right? Okay. We're good. Make it a review if you can. We'll try recording it. I forgot my flash drive. I've got this little crummy one. I'll try using it. I hope it works. The last one of these, the KC-EV one. The last one I had, I couldn't get to work yesterday. I'd have to walk back and forth from here to Miles twice because it didn't work. Oh well. Exercise for the man. Probably. See you guys. Work, work, work.